So the All Blacks squad for the Rugby Championship competition is being announced tomorrow, but today we have got a curveball, and that is that Cam Roigard. He is out with injury. He will be available for, I believe, the later stages of the Rugby Championship, but not for the start, which does bring new opportunity and new big decisions for Scott Robertson to have to make. But in this video, we'll be looking at what has happened, also who are the replacements that we could see take Cam Roigard's spot, but certainly not what the All Blacks would have wanted to be dealing with just before the squad does get announced. But jumping straight into it, so Cam Roigard, he was playing in July, as we saw, doing extremely well up against the French. Now, he did have some foot pain after the July series. It has been confirmed as a stress fracture, and the date that he will be returning for the Rugby Championship is to be determined, but they will be reassessing it in 2 weeks' time. So that means he will not be traveling to Argentina, and that brings, like I said, a big opportunity for somebody else. We already know that Noah Hotham is out with an injury of his own. He is going to be out for 7 to 8 weeks. Now, on the surface, some would hear stress fracture and think, okay, just a light injury. Won't take too long. But the thing is, with a stress fracture, depending on the severity, this could be a 6 to 12 week injury for Cam Roigard. Sometimes can be bumped down to 6 to 8 weeks, but if it is serious, and with the fact that it's being assessed in 2 weeks, it makes me think that it is, means that Cam Roigard could miss a majority, if not all, of the Rugby Championship competition. I know people wanted to see him out there on the field up against South Africa, and at this point in time, it seems like the most caps New Zealand can have for that Springboks game could be with Finlay Christie, if he is one of the guys that Scott Robertson does select. But we are on to that talking point. Who will be the selected halfbacks for this Rugby Championship? Initially, it seemed like Cam Roigard and Cortez Ratama both had their spots confirmed, and then there was the debate about who would be the third choice out of around 4 or so players. Finlay Christie, Kyle Preston, Xavier Rowe, and also Folau Fakatava. Now, with this Cam Roigard injury, it actually means we will more than likely see 2 of those 4 players get themselves the chance for the All Blacks, whether or not that is for one of them just being the injury cover of Roigard rather than being a fully named member of the squad, similar to what we saw for Imoni Narawa throughout the July internationals. So there are big decisions that do need to be made, but I will also mention the decisions are not easy, because in the Bunnings NPC, the game between Bay of Plenty and Tasman, we actually saw Finlay Christie initially named in the starting lineup, but he did not play. Instead, Mitch Drummond did start that contest. I believe there was a late withdrawal because of injury. Now, some are speculating that there was a phone call made and Finlay Christie was told before the game that he was going to be selected in the All Blacks, which is why they did decide to switch him out so that they wouldn't risk injury, but I don't think that's true. I think it was just injury-based for Finlay Christie in that game. So then, if he has got a longer-term injury than just 1 or 2 weeks, that gives you your 3 options, or at least your 3 front runners at this point in time. Now, for me, Kyle Preston, I think would be a very good choice. I did actually select him in my All Black squad that I wanted to see for the Rugby Championship. Folau Fakatava, he has got a couple caps to his name. Perhaps this is where he gets his chance to get back in that All Blacks environment. Or the other option, to go with someone new, like a Xavier Rowe, or perhaps someone even outside of those 3. So that is my question to you guys in the comments. Who are the 3 halfbacks now that you would select for the Rugby Championship? Now, don't get me wrong, if Cam Roigard is going to be back for the second half, I believe he will still be named in the Rugby Championship squad. But for now, without him there, the question is, who are your 3 halfbacks for the games up against Argentina? Cortez Ratama, he will go into these opening contests potentially as the most experienced All Blacks halfback, and the man only has around 12 caps. Now, after this was announced about Cam Roigard's injury, someone did mention about Aaron Smith, but I don't think he's allowed to play for the All Blacks at this point in time, but they are going to have to dig deep into the young stocks of the halfbacks around the country and work out exactly what the game plan will be, because the injuries that have been occurring throughout this year have been coming thick and fast, whether it is in a halfback jersey or whether it's another position out there on the field. So you always have to be ready for that next man to take the role on and try and perform. I mean, Finlay Christie got injured last year. That's where we saw Noah Hotham get his first chance. Someone like a Cortez Ratama only debuting last year for the All Blacks, but now has to be looked upon as that first choice. Is that with Mackenzie in the 10 jersey or Beauden Barrett? A lot of questions will be answered tomorrow when the squad is announced, ladies and gents, but it is all very interesting and also concerning for the All Blacks heading into the Rugby Championship. And nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. Any other injuries that the All Blacks do suffer before the Argentinian match, we will, of course, be letting you know. But the squad, they will be announced tomorrow. They'll then be flying over for what will be 2 intriguing games of the Rugby Championship. I think a perfect word to describe it would be unpredictable. You never know what you're going to get with Los Pumas. They did go 1-1 with them last year, the All Blacks. They want to go 2-0 in 2025. But thank you all very much for watching. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And I will see you all for the next one.